You're watching CBC Sports. I'm Anastasia Busis. There is some massive long track speed skating coming your way January 24th to 26th from the Calgary Olympic Oval. Team Canada on fire, and to break it all down, one of my old teammates and a star at Team Canada, Isabelle Weidemann, of course, Olympic champion, three-time medalist. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm getting really excited for the World Cup here in Calgary. We got a few weeks left and I guess a few weeks left of hard training before we get to taper for the event. But I'm stoked.
Good. Yeah, I mean, you race well when you're stoked. You have had a pretty solid start to the season. You won a bronze medal in the 3,000 meter in Beijing prior to the holiday break. That was the same rink that you won bronze in Beijing 2022. Did you feel good, or were you just like, you know what, I've got a pretty good track record on this track?
You know, that facility feels so magical to me. I feel like every time we walk in there, it's so impressive and massive. And with all the lights that go on, I definitely felt like a little bit emotional. We had raced there last year as well. So the season after the Olympics. And I kind of felt the same way where I was like, oh my gosh, I remember all these like really crazy big feelings from the Olympics and from standing on that podium. And so I definitely feel those. They're really big. But I also kind of like when they kind of fuel you when you're racing. And this has been a bit of a weird season for us. Our world championships are really late into the season. And so I really wanted to see if I could push kind of our racing year. Generally, we're racing right in September. And my coach and I kind of sat down and we're like, can we race? Can we start racing in November? And so those World Cups, those first two, which were Beijing and in Japan for us, were my first races of the year. I was really happy with kind of how they went. They felt solid. But our real like main chunk of racing is just coming up here in January and February. So I'm stoked to see how those go.
Calgary's going to be a good test, of course. The fastest ice in the world record watch, all the excitement. Everyone loves to skate there. And of course, it'll be a huge stepping stone and building block to the World Championships, as you said, in March. Team Canada at World Singles last year in Calgary won 10 medals, historic, 8 of which are Olympic disciplines and distances. What are the hopes for the red and white going into this World Cup in Calgary?
You know, I think there's a lot of excitement. We have a big team going into the World Cup here. We have full quota, so all of our possible racing spots are filled in every single distance. So we're going to have people that are skating their first World Cups, and we're going to have people that are veterans of this team. And there's like a lot of fire. I think everybody is excited for the Olympic season that's coming. And this is like a really great opportunity to kind of stamp your name in people to watch, up and coming Canadians. And so I really feel that on the team, like going into training right now and kind of watching what people are doing, and everybody's really dialed in. And there's a lot of like young energy that's coming up. And I'm very excited to see what people are going to race. And I think we have a lot of very strong skaters on the team right now. There's a lot of I think opportunity to go really fast, and people are just really excited.
I love that you mentioned that there's a great group of young guns coming up, but there's also like a lot of veterans, and you push each other, you work together. I of course think of Yvonne Blondin and Val Maltais and Laurent Debroy. I mean, the names just keep going on and on. What is special about Team Canada right now? Because it feels like a golden age.
Absolutely. I think we have a new kind of wave of athletes that are going through the team right now. And I mean, I get to be part of that generation, which is so amazing. But I think there's a lot of camaraderie that goes on within our team for sure. I think there's just a lot of energy and excitement, and that's like really contagious throughout the team, where people want to see what they're capable of and to push kind of those boundaries. And we all grew up, those of us on the team right now, we all grew up watching this, like, I want to say that's like the original golden age of speed skating. So Katrina Lemay-Doan, Cindy Klassen, like that era, we grew up watching them, the 2006 Olympics and 2010, like that kind of that era of people. And so we get to be this next generation. And I think we're fueled a lot by that. And then we also have these young kind of individuals coming up on the team, and that's exciting, obviously. but I do think there's a lot of fun happening, and I think it creates an environment where people want to get the most out of themselves, and to show Canada kind of how much training we do in speed skating and how proud we are to represent and to showcase this sport. And yeah, I think people will, when they come and watch in Calgary or watch the World Cups throughout the rest of the season, will really see that.
I mean, you do mention Cindy Clausen, Claire Hughes, Christina Groves, these legends, right? I mean, childhood heroes that totally surpass the sport. You are now in that role that those women were in that inspired you. I mean, have they given you any love or tips and tricks as to kind of, hey, keep at it, this is how you lead this team?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's so cool to think that like myself, Evany, Val, like there are young girls that come up to us all the time, young speed skaters or other athletes, and they're like, oh, we watched you race at the Olympics. And just to get to be those people a little bit now that get to pass the torch. Like, you know, we've been doing this sport for a really long time. We are veterans of this national team now. And to think that like one day we do get to pass on that legacy and to keep it going is so amazing. And I feel so honored to be able to do that. And I also like, I am still like upheld by all the veterans that came before me and that legacy of women in particular. And they still reach out and they like Claire Hughes often, she's giving me advice or just, you know, checking in yourself as well. Like we never talk about that.
Do not put my name in the same sentence as Clara Hughes, girl.
Well, I was like little when I came into the, you know, the national team change room, and you're like 18 or 17 or whatever, and like you look up to yourself and to like all these other women that were on the national team at the time, and like you still reach out, they still reach out, and I am so looking forward to being able to continue that and like watch this next generation coming up, because we have a lot of really amazing people on the team right now, but there are also like a lot of very fast juniors that are coming up, and I'm kind of like, I gotta get out before they.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's a good pipeline for Canadian speed skating right now, and of course, my joke about Clara was that she is just so much better than me that I can't be in the same sentence. Not, I love Clara Hughes, but I guess I just want to quickly ask. I mean, it was 20 years ago. Clara Hughes won gold in 2006. Can you believe that? Cindy Clausen did what she did in 2006 in Italy. Italy 2026. It's about a year away. How often are you thinking about it?
A lot, absolutely. I feel like a different athlete, maybe a bit of a different version of myself that went into, you know, 8 years ago when I went to 2018, and then 4 years ago when I went to 2022. I feel like, you know, I've changed as an athlete, changed as a person, obviously. And I think about it a lot. I obviously feel nervous about it, but I also feel really excited. Like I remember being 11 years old and watching the 2006 Olympics and being so in awe by like watching Cindy Clausen or watching Claire, like watching that team of speed skaters. I was just newly involved in speed skating. I didn't even really have an idea of what the sport actually entailed, but just like watching the Olympics and knowing that I get to help continue that legacy is just really special. And I'm kind of clinging, I think, to that like childhood specialness of it, to like not feel so nervous and not feel so pressured, just to like bask in it a little bit more and to enjoy it and share that with everybody around me. And that's I guess what's going on.
You're champion, Isabelle Weidemann. Thank you so much for chatting. Calgary hosting World Cup number 3 for long track speed skating, January 24th to 26th. It will be wall-to-wall coverage on CBC Sports and CBC.